Henry the Green Engine had a busy timetable, but he didn't mind. It was Christmas time, and his fireman, Ted, was singing carols in his cab. Each day, Ted practiced a new carol, and Henry enjoyed listening to them. "Why are you always singing?" Henry asked him. "I'm in the church choir. We have to learn 6 carols in time for the carol service on Christmas Eve." That night, Henry told the other engines about the Christmas carols. "Can you teach us to sing, Henry?" peeped Percy excitedly. "Don't be silly," huffed Gordon. "Engines can't sing." "But we can whistle," said Oliver. This gave Henry an idea. Next morning, Ted came to light Henry's fire. Henry choked and spluttered on his coal, and Ted didn't know why. "What's the matter, Henry?" Nothing. I'm trying to sing," Henry replied shyly. Ted laughed. "I don't think engines can sing." Henry thought for a moment. "But we can whistle." When they reached the harbour with their load, Henry whistled extra loud. "Peep, peep! Hello, Duck!" Duck whistled back. Then he whistled to Oliver, who whistled back to him. And Henry whistled to everyone. There was so much whistling in the yard that the Fat Controller came out of his office to see what was going on. "There's so much noise I can hardly hear myself think," he barked. "You all know to only whistle when it's appropriate." "Sorry, sir," said Henry meekly, and puffed away, feeling rather disappointed. He worked quietly for the rest of the day, but still wished he could whistle carols. Ted felt sorry for Henry, and later that night he came to the shed with a songbook. "You can help me learn my Christmas carols," he told the engines. "Can I hear your whistles?" The engines each took it in turns to whistle for Ted. Gordon's whistle was low and loud, Percy's whistle was high and shrill, and Toby's bell added a nice Christmassy touch. "Right, I'll tell you when to whistle, and this is what we'll do." Each engine took it in turns to blow their whistles, and soon they sounded like an engine orchestra. The next day was Christmas Eve, and time for Ted's carol service. As Henry waited for his trucks to be loaded, he saw his driver and fireman talking to the vicar. "The old organ is broken," the vicar told them sadly. "We'll have to cancel the carol service." But Ted had other ideas. "Don't worry, vicar, I know what to do." That night, the choir congregated at the church, and the engines were gathered at the station nearby. Ted gave them the signal, and they began to whistle as they had been practicing the night before. The congregation were delighted with the harmony of the whistles that surrounded the church. Everyone finished with, "We wish you a Merry Christmas," and the vicar was delighted. "What really useful engines," he gushed to the Fat Controller. "I don't think we've ever had a better carol service." The Fat Controller smiled and looked at Henry. "It may not have been the most conventional way," he said, "but I think we can classify this as an appropriate use of your whistles. Well done, and Merry Christmas, engines!"